if you don't know where to begin, better ask Win.
Shane, good to see you. Today we get to talk through how to protect your retirement savings if markets plunge. If you're within 5 years of retiring, either before or after you are at your most vulnerable financially. So we do have some steps to weather the volatility. Retiring in a down market presents a very unique risk known as sequence of returns risk. Can you explain why tapping your invested money when the market is down can dramatically affect how long your money will last?
Well, the sequence of returns risk is the idea that when you're ready to retire, what will the markets be doing? And if they're not doing what you like or want them to do, what are you going to do about it? And so that means if your portfolio is down, your 4% per year withdrawal may turn into 5, 6, 7%. And what that means is that your portfolio is going to have a tough time recovering from those withdrawals. We always want to recommend that as you start to approach that retirement red zone, those 5 years before, 5 years after retirement, you start to move assets into vehicles that are protected against this market volatility or this sequence of returns risk and allow you to derive income in a manner that's not directly correlated with how the markets are performing. It's really a stark reality that, again, if those sequence of returns work against you, your experience in retirement will be affected rather greatly.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now let's get into those strategies then. The first would be to build a cash cushion. How does this help?
Well, the idea with a cash cushion is that it's somewhere you can go to spend money or draw money from if your portfolio is down, to allow that portfolio to bounce back up without having an additional withdrawal that was taken that it has to contend with. Maybe you can leave it alone and let it go for that year and hopefully recover and take the cash from elsewhere.
Next, consider changing the balance of equities and fixed investments in your portfolio. It is a delicate balance, though, because you need enough money invested in equities to combat inflation.
Exactly. We always really do make sure this is a fine-tuned balance. But if the equity markets are doing poorly, perhaps we'll switch a little bit more towards fixed income that will give some stability inside the portfolio. But again, like you said, it's a tricky balance because we don't want to miss the upswing that comes back when the equity markets start to perform again.
Mm-hmm. You may also want to adjust your spending. Is this another way of saying adjust your withdrawal rate?
Basically is, yes. If you're taking that 4%, but all of a sudden you're realizing that's an unsustainable rate with market conditions, perhaps the scary reality is that you have to take a little bit less, and that might directly affect your standard of living or your quality of retirement. But if you're deriving your income from market-based assets, this is kind of the reality of that world. You want to make sure that you're not overtaking from a portfolio in a manner that will cause it to be unrecoverable from the downs that might occur.
Mm-hmm. All right. And as painful as it might be, you might need to work a little longer, which can help with income and delay when you claim Social Security.
Well, with Social Security especially, every year you defer it past your FRA, or 67 in most cases, you get about an 8% bump in that benefit. But again, if you can work another year or two, I know it might be tough, but that will massively help you later in life. It's amazing how much of a difference working 1 or 2 more years can really make to your retirement down the line.
Mm-hmm. And then last, you really should consult an advisor because he or she can help ensure you retire when you want. An advisor can design a plan tailored to your goals and designed to protect against volatility and sequence risk.
That's exactly right. And an advisor can bring experience, decades of experience to you that you might not have access to as a DIYer, and allow you to get this thing right the first time. Because once you enter retirement, you really don't have a do-over plan. You have to make sure you get it right the first time.
Right. Good point. Well, if somebody would like to sit down with you, Shane, and create that financial plan if they are in the retirement red zone, what's the best way to reach you?
The best way to reach us is online or via phone here at our office. Our website is winstonandcompanies.com, or give us a call here at the office, 602-456-1928.
Great. Shane, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Erin.
Got a plan for your retirement, 'cause you know it's just down the road. But if you don't know where to begin, better ask Win.